Eskom's KRN2 rollout project is making waves as it urges millions of prepaid electricity users with illegal connections to come forward and legalise their usage. With 400,000 zero buyers already transitioning to paying customers, this initiative is critical to Eskom's sustainability. Today, we're joined by energy expert Professor Sampson Mamphweli, who will provide insights into this project, the challenges it faces, and the broader implications for South Africa's energy sector. Prof. Sam, always great to speak to you. Now, I want to start off on this number of 400,000 zero-paying Eskom customers that now are going to be billed every month. How significant is this number?
That's quite a significant number because if you look at the fact that we had about 2 million, the so-called zero buyers, who are people who basically either purchase electricity from illegal vendors or who have somehow bypassed the meters. So the 400,000 number is quite significant because if you look at the entire process of moving from KRN1 to KRN2, it also assisted Eskom in terms of safeguarding Eskom's revenue, which Eskom dearly needs, because Eskom needs that money for them to be able to generate, transmit, and distribute electricity. So the 400 is quite a significant number. However, the plus or minus 1.7 million people that have not yet been moved to the new KRN2, it's a cause for concern. That's why Eskom has now pre-programmed most of their meters that they can still access, and they've now given them up until I think it's the 13th of December to come forward so that they can also be moved into the new system.
Now, we often talk about a relapse, and I'm going to want to use that illustration, Dr. Sam. How sure is Eskom that these 400,000 zero-paying will now remain payers and not slide back for one reason or the other? Is that something that they've been able to safeguard or ring fence?
Yeah, with the rollout of this KRN2 system, they might still be able to continue as payers. However, what we've picked up, even through social media, is that the criminals have already started working. Some of them are already calling for their customers to call them so that they can give them the new codes and things like that, which basically means that even this new system is not 100% foolproof in terms of being accessed and being tampered with by the criminals. The ones who have bypassed meters, they might continue to pay. And if they stop paying and continue with the bypass of the meters, because now they've already been identified and they're using a new system, the new KRN2 system will basically pick them up, and then they will be they will be charged by Eskom. The minimum fine is about 6,000 rands. And if you are found wanting again, the amount doubles. And if you are found wanting again, according to the new Electricity Regulations Act, you get arrested and you might end up serving a very long jail sentence.
Now, what we've seen with many of these issues around free service or subsidized service, or where large communities are working with individuals and sometimes even cartels, right, to deal with these issues, there are repercussions, and sometimes those repercussions involve acts of sabotage against state facilities. Is it something that Eskom is taking into account and looking out for?
Yes, that is correct. So in terms of the new regulations, people who are found to have breached the meters, people who are found to have done illegal connections, Eskom has got the right to now take them to court or working with the state security, the police, and other state security agencies. Arrest them and then take them to court, and then there are very dire consequences, like I've indicated. In the past, the consequences were not being followed through, but what we've picked up now is that both government and Eskom are starting to be strict because remember, we just came out of a very difficult load shedding situation. which was partly because people were doing all sorts of things. I mean, if you have got 2 million people who are using electricity without paying for that particular electricity, that's a huge number, and it's got a huge implication in terms of the Eskom revenue. And we're talking only on the side of Eskom. We still have people who on the side of municipal distribution who are in hundreds of thousands of people who are in the same kind of a situation, who are also supposed to come forward and legalize their connections, and so that going forward, municipalities also don't lose revenue. We know that municipalities are owed by their customers upwards of 350 billion rands. And based on that, some of the municipalities are now owing Eskom close to 90 billion rand. If you add all that number, you come very close to the debt that Eskom has got. And if all that money is recovered, it means a lot in terms of servicing the infrastructure and also the delivery of the electricity services to the nation in general.
Professor, amongst these 400,000 individuals could be many who are indigent, and there have been conversations about affording those individuals free service. Are these individuals being taken into account? Because I'd imagine that it's not every single one of those individuals that was part of the 400,000 that chose to be part of the 400,000 purely because they wanted cheap electricity. There are some that couldn't actually afford electricity regardless of the pricing.
Yeah, so there's an indigent program with municipalities where the indigent households are given 50 free basic units. We understand that sometimes when you factor in things such as your water heating and your cooking, with the 50 free basic electricity, you might not make it to the end of the month. But most of what we've picked up is that there's quite a lot of people who qualify for that free basic electricity that have not gone to the municipalities and also to Eskom to actually register. So some people is because of ignorance, they don't know. Some people just think like it's a cumbersome kind of a process. However, on the other side, we've picked up that there are people who can afford to pay for this electricity. They just choose not to pay Eskom or the municipalities. And those people are paying the cartels that are connecting them illegal, that are also bypassing the meters. Those are the people who must, go forward to Eskom and municipalities and become part of the KRN2 system. Even those who have been who are just buying from the illegal vendors, for instance, they need to come forward and go to Eskom and municipality and become legal in the eyes of the state and do the right thing. That's why Eskom has now done the pre-programming of the meters that they can pick up on their system. And then they are sitting with those codes, just waiting for them to come so they can give them those codes and also assist them in terms of connecting legally going forward.
And finally, Professor Mamphweli, the trajectory on load shedding, or the lack thereof, has been pretty good since prior to elections. Can we expect this to remain? Is government doing enough? Is the ministry doing enough? Is Eskom doing enough to ensure that the days of load shedding remain behind us?
Yeah, we can expect the trajectory to continue on the positive side of things. What Eskom has been doing is continuous maintenance of their generation, their coal generation fleet, to improve the energy availability factor. The projections that we have, if you look at the draft integrated resource plan 2023 that we have been taking on a road show from last week with the minister, you will see that the projections that we have there are quite good. And if Eskom keeps to those projections that are in the draft IRP 2023, which will now be published soon as the IRP 2024, we might see the end of load shedding quite soon.
Professor Sampson Mamphweli, energy expert, always great to speak to you. Incredible insights around that Eskom's KRN2 rollout project and the 400,000 individuals who are now becoming paying customers and the implications that all of that has on the bottom dollar, if you will, for Eskom.